Why are the A-10 Warthog's engines so high? Plus 10 fascinating facts. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic aircraft in the US Air Force, the A-10 Warthog. Ever wondered why its engines are so high up? Let's find out. Alright, let's talk engines. You see those twin turbofans perched up high on the A-10's back, almost like an afterthought? Turns out there's a method to this madness. First off, picture this. You're flying low and slow over a battlefield, dodging enemy fire. Not exactly the time you want debris getting sucked into your engines, right? Well, that's where the high placement comes in. Those wings act like giant shields, deflecting dirt, rocks, and anything else that might get kicked up during takeoff or landing. Remember, the A-10 was designed to operate from rough makeshift airstrips near the front lines, so keeping those engines clear is critical. But wait, there's more. That high placement isn't just about debris protection, it's also about protecting the engines themselves. Think about it. Ground troops aren't exactly known for their precision targeting. They're shooting at anything that moves, and those engines are big, juicy targets. By placing them high up, it's much harder for enemy fire to take them out. Plus, it reduces their infrared signature, making it more difficult for those heat-seeking missiles to lock on. It's like giving the A-10 its own personal force field. And if that wasn't enough, the high placement makes maintenance a whole lot easier. Imagine trying to work on engines that are tucked under the wings. You'd be crawling around on the ground, covered in grease. With the A-10, mechanics can just stand on the wings and access everything they need. It's like they have their own built-in work platform. Now, to truly understand the A-10 Warthog, you gotta know what it was built for. This ain't your sleek, high-flying fighter jet. The A-10 is a ground attack aircraft, and I mean that in the most literal sense. It's designed to fly low and slow, providing close air support to troops on the ground. Think of it as the ultimate wingman, always there to rain down havoc on enemy tanks, armored vehicles, and anything else that threatens our guys on the ground. And when I say low and slow, I'm talking about flying so low you could practically wave to the troops below. It can loiter over the battlefield for hours waiting for the call to action, and when that call comes, it delivers. The A-10 is armed to the teeth with a variety of weapons, but its claim to fame is that massive G8A Avenger cannon mounted right in the nose. We'll get to that cannon in a bit, but trust me, it's a thing of beauty. But the A-10's effectiveness isn't just about firepower, it's about being there when it counts, providing that critical air support that can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Alright, let's talk about the elephant gun in the room, the G8A Avenger cannon. This beast of a weapon is the A-10's primary weapon, and it's nothing short of legendary. We're talking about a 30mm Gatling gun that spits out depleted uranium rounds at a mind-blowing 4,200 rounds per minute. That's right, you heard me correctly, per minute. To put that into perspective, imagine a standard assault rifle. Now imagine that assault rifle on steroids, firing bullets the size of your forearm. That's the G8A Avenger in a nutshell. It's so powerful that it can tear through tanks like a hot knife through butter. And that distinctive ba-yat sound it makes. That's the sound of enemy armor meeting its doom. But here's the thing, the G8U8 isn't just about raw power, it's also incredibly accurate. The A-10's entire airframe is designed around this cannon. The pilot can put rounds on target with pinpoint accuracy, even when flying at low altitudes and high speeds. And because the cannon is mounted directly on the center line of the aircraft, there's very little recoil, which further enhances its accuracy. Chapter 4. Built like a tank. Well, almost. The A-10 Warthog isn't just about firepower, it's about survivability. This thing is built to take a beating and keep on flying. I'm talking about a level of toughness that would make even Chuck Norris jealous. One of the most impressive features is the cockpit. It's surrounded by a titanium bathtub that can withstand direct hits from armor-piercing rounds. We're talking about over 1,200 pounds of titanium armor protecting the pilot from enemy fire. It's like a flying safe, but it doesn't stop there. The A-10 has self-sealing fuel tanks, so even if they get punctured, they won't burst into flames. And the control systems are redundant, meaning that if one system gets damaged, there's a backup ready to take over. Oh, and did I mention that it can fly with one engine, one tail, one elevator and half a wing missing? It's basically the aviation equivalent of a zombie. You just can't keep it down. Chapter 5. A true survivor. Tales from the Warthog's battlefield. You don't earn the nickname Warthog by being a delicate flower. The A-10 has seen its fair share of action, and it's got the battle scars to prove it. But more importantly, it's got a reputation for bringing its pilots home safe, even after taking incredible damage. There are countless stories of A-10s limping back to base after being shot to pieces. One famous incident involved an A-10 that lost a significant portion of its wing and tail during a mission in Iraq. The pilot, Captain Kim Campbell, managed to fly the crippled aircraft for over an hour and land it safely. That's the kind of resilience that legends are made of. Another time, an A-10 was hit by a surface-to-air missile which ripped off a huge chunk of its fuselage. Incredibly, the pilot not only maintained control but also managed to fly the plane back to base and land it. I'm not saying it was pretty, but it proves that this plane is tougher than a $2 steak. Chapter 6. Maneuvering like a bird. A big angry bird. You wouldn't expect a plane that looks like it was designed with crayons to be a graceful dancer in the sky, but here's the thing about the A-10. It's surprisingly maneuverable, especially at low speeds and altitudes. Those big straight wings might not look aerodynamic, but they generate a ton of lift, allowing the A-10 to fly at incredibly slow speeds without stalling. And that's crucial for close air support, where the pilot needs to be able to fly low and slow enough to accurately target enemy positions without getting hit by ground fire. But don't let its slow speed fool you. The A-10 can turn on a dime. It's highly responsive, allowing the pilot to quickly change direction and evade enemy fire. It's like a hummingbird on steroids, able to hover, dart and weave through the air with surprising agility. In the world of military aviation, loiter time is a big deal. It refers to how long an aircraft can remain over a target area, providing support or conducting surveillance. And let me tell you, the A-10 is the undisputed king of loiter. Thanks to its fuel-efficient engines and large internal fuel capacity, the A-10 can stay aloft for extended periods. We're talking hours, people. This means that it can provide sustained support to ground troops, loitering over the battlefield until its services are needed. This ability to stay in the fight for extended periods is crucial for close air support. It means that the A-10 can be there to provide immediate assistance when friendly forces come under attack, without having to return to base to refuel. Let's be honest, the A-10 Warthog isn't going to win any beauty contests. It's not sleek, it's not sexy, it's not going to be featured in any Top Gun sequels anytime soon. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. Because the A-10 is living proof that looks can be deceiving. This plane is all about function over form. Every single design element, from those ungainly engines to its bulky fuselage, is there for a reason. It's designed to be tough, reliable, and incredibly effective at its job. And in the world of combat aircraft, that's all that matters. So yeah, it might not be the prettiest plane in the sky, but when you hear that distinctive brrrr sound, you know that help has arrived, and it's not afraid to get its hands dirty. Chapter 9. A legacy of Bharat. The A-10's enduring impact. The A-10 Warthog first took to the skies in 1972, and it's been kicking butt and taking names ever since. That's almost 50 years of service, which is pretty impressive for any aircraft, let alone one that's designed to fly into harm's way. Over the years, there have been attempts to retire the A-10, to replace it with newer, more advanced aircraft, but every time the A-10 has survived. Why? Because there's simply nothing else quite like it. The A-10 is a testament to the idea that sometimes simpler is better. It's a rugged, reliable workhorse that gets the job done, and it's earned the respect of ground troops and pilots alike. Chapter 10. That sound, the brrrt heard round the world. You know it, you love it, you can probably hear it in your sleep. The A-10's G8A Avenger cannon produces a sound that's as iconic as the plane itself. It's a deep, guttural brrrt that sends shivers down the spines of enemy combatants and brings a sense of reassurance to friendly troops. That sound is the sound of freedom, the sound of air superiority, the sound of the A-10 Warthog doing what it does best. It's a sound that's been immortalized in movies, video games, and countless internet memes, but more importantly, it's a sound that's synonymous with the A-10's reputation as a fearsome ground attack aircraft, a plane that's always there to support the troops on the ground. Chapter 11. From Thunderbolt to Warthog, the story behind the nicknames. You can't talk about the A-10 without talking about its nicknames. Officially, it's designated the A-10 Thunderbolt II, a nod to the legendary P-47 Thunderbolt of World War II fame. But let's be real, nobody calls it the Thunderbolt 2. It's the Warthog through and through. And you know what? The name fits. Like its namesake, the A-10 is tough, rugged, and not afraid to get its hands dirty. It's not the prettiest plane in the sky, but it gets the job done. So, the next time you see an A-10, remember that it's more than just a plane. It's a symbol of American air power, a testament to the ingenuity of its designers, and a tribute to the bravery of the pilots who fly it. A-10 Warthog, an engineering marvel. Well, there you have it, folks, the A-10 Warthog, a true testament to American engineering and a force to be reckoned with. It's amazing how such a unique design, those high-set engines being a prime example, has stood the test of time. But beyond the mechanics, it's the stories, the sound, the sheer presence of this aircraft that make it legendary. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into the A-10 Warthog and want to see more videos about incredible feats of engineering, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future uploads. We've got a whole lot more amazing stuff lined up for you. Until next time, stay curious. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the A-10 Warthog, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating military insights. See you next time.